Welcome back. A hodgepodge of various groups are set to hold mass demonstrations on September 21st, dubbed the Trillion Peso March. The protests come amid growing public outrage over corruption in government. What exactly are the protesters demanding? Let's get on point with Trillion Peso March spokesperson Kiko Aquino Dee. Thank you again. Kiko, he insists I call him Kiko, so I'll call him Kiko. Because the last time I remember him he was a baby, and now he has a mustache and looks like an adult.
No, he's old enough to be too lazy to shave his Korina.
I
Good evening
know,
po,
and you're
watchers.
now adult enough to organize such a huge rally on September 21. So why September 21, first of all?
Well, I think the symbolism is obvious. No, September 21 is the anniversary of martial law, and I'm not sure if the record still holds, but President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. held the record for one of the greatest thefts of a government in the world. No, so definitely corruption is a big part of that story of martial law, and we're invoking the spirit that ended dictatorship in this country again by calling people to come out and really stand up using peaceful means. No, that was the promise of EDSA. Change through peaceful means, and we're invoking that spirit again to finally end the story of corruption here in the Philippines.
Does this necessarily mean, Kiko, that there will be calls for, I heard this, of course, this is all Marites, but I heard this, that there would be calls for impeachment of the president? Do you think that there would be a strong anti-BBM sentiment during that rally on September 21?
So our group has not agreed on any calls of impeachment, but definitely our view is that no politician should be spared, or no faction of our politics, no administration, past or present, should be spared from the investigations on the flood control anomalies. No? So if you want to call out President Marcos, you can. If you want to call out President Duterte for also the flood control anomalies during that time, you can. But in terms of broader calls of impeachment or resignation, our group hasn't come to a consensus on that. And we've sort of, to maintain the sort of coalition that we have, the very broad coalition that we have, we are our calls for unity are really for clear accountability for this impeachment. We want all of the information to come out. We want an independent commission with teeth. So we want subpoena powers and contempt powers to be given to that commission from Congress. And we want cases to be filed and the people who are revealed to be involved to be eventually jailed, arrested, tried, and hopefully all of this comes to light.
So that would probably constitute the primary demands of this mass action, that you would be demanding heads to roll, and that named people will be held accountable, and anything short of that would be a disappointment.
Yes po, anything. I think because I think we're really in a moment po, no? So it's really stark, no? The contrast between how bad the floods were this last few weeks with relatively little rain. No? It wasn't a huge typhoon, but like the flooding was so bad in different parts of Metro Manila, even outside Metro Manila. Contrast with how much money was spent on flood control, and also contrast with sort of a lot of the ostentatious displays of wealth that we see from people who are alleged to be involved with these anomalies. So I think it really created this moment where a lot of people are coming together to express righteous anger over the brazenness of corruption in this country. So I think what needs to happen is that the independent commission on infrastructure needs to meet that moment. No, they cannot have sort of hindi pwedeng malabnaw yung magiging filing nila. No, they need to identify the high officials that are involved in this case. They need to file strong cases and make strong cases in the courts so that we can actually see lasting consequences for these actions.
Right. So on another point, another concern would be how September 21 is going to be organized. So with so many various groups coming together, some are pro-Duterte, some are anti-Duterte, pro-Marcos, anti-administration, etc., left and right. Has all the groups been registered and accredited and have been duly briefed about regulations for peace and order?
Yeah, so in fact, we just had a meeting with a sort of broader set of groups that we weren't able to get in touch with prior to our press conference this Monday. We just had a meeting with them online earlier, and yeah, we gave orientations on what are the calls, the unity calls, as far as the campaign is concerned. Where again, we're not. While if you want to call any administration to account, you can, but to keep this sort of broad coalition together, we're not really wala kaming sinasanto na kahit sinong politiko, so we don't really want calls for this person should be president or that person should be president. We don't want necessarily calls for impeachment or resignation, but any kind of call out for any administration, I think that's within fair game. So I think that point of unity was very important for us to arrive at, to make sure, okay, this is what we can come together over. Yes, we know what unity looks like when there's no basis. It becomes very, very messy. So we have that call for unity. What's bringing us together is corruption. Our lead convener, Bishop Colin Bagaforo, I think likes to say na walang kulay yung corruption. No? So we're all calling that out. No?
So kumbaga,
And
Kiko,
then
kumbaga ito ay kanya-kanyang tahol. Kanya-kanyang tahol sa kanya-kanyang pwesto. Both in Luneta and in EDSA.
With ano naman, so definitely we're in solidarity with the Luneta mobilization. Our particular movement is in People Power Monument, and kanya-kanyang tahol pero may clear naman na guidelines, no. So una, talagang pananagutan para sa korupsyon yung panawagan natin, and pangalawa, I think everyone, Luneta, PPM, all of the different protests that have happened this last few weeks, and I'm sure the protests to come after the 21st, we're all committed towards peaceful protests, no. And I think that's something I'm very proud of, even coming from very different groups that some of which I don't always agree with or very rarely agree with. Pero all of the protests here right now, I think, has been something that we can be proud of. No, we expressed ourselves, we showed our anger, but we did so in a peaceful manner. And siguro, Ms. Corina, just on the point of security coordination, yes, we're also in constant contact with the Quezon City Mayor's Office, the PNP, through the QCPD, to make sure that we welcome the statement of the current PNP chief saying that hindi nyo kaaway yung pulis ngayon. We agree with that very much. No? We've organized several protests in People Power Monument before, and the police have always played a facilitative role there. We expect the same on September 21, and that was affirmed by the statement we heard recently. So we're in close coordination with the police. We have our own marshals to take care of the internal security within the crowd. So yeah, we expect people to have definitely express their anger, but also have a good experience. Now, I realize that a lot of people might be protesting for the first time this September 21. So we want to make sure that this is a meaningful experience and a peaceful experience for everyone.
I hope so too. So good luck on your organization. I have a feeling that Pinky will be interviewing you again, and we'll be hearing more from you as we approach Sunday. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you will be available for more questions. Thank you
Yes,
very
po,
much.
looking forward to it. Thank you po.
Trillion Peso March spokesperson Kiko Aquino Dee, maraming salamat. And ladies and gentlemen, that's On Point. Join us again tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Hopefully Pinky will be back here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Korina Sanchez-Roxas. Thank you for watching.